Welcome to your Vitality Yoga practice, created to bring about balance in the body as we move through postures attending to all sensations. The invitation throughout this practice is to stay connected to sensations in the body without getting caught up in the story of the mind, connecting you to a sense of peace and well-being that you can take off the mat and into every aspect of your life. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, let's get started. Welcome to the beautiful Durga Ranch in Cave Creek, Arizona. Tori and I are here to guide you through your vitality practice today. So we're going to start seated. So finding a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. We're going to sit up nice and tall, lengthening up through the crown of the head. We're going to take the palms to face down on the tops of the knees. And we're going to move with the breath here. So inhaling, torso forward. Draw the torso over to the right. Maybe tuck the tailbone slightly as you move back behind you and over to the left. So you can see we're just going to continue to make these large circles with the torso, knowing that you can make your circles as big or as small as works for your body today. And the next time the torso finds itself forward, let's go the opposite direction. So traveling over to the left, behind you, and to the right, forward again. Taking your time, starting to just open up the back body, open into the hips. And now as the torso comes forward, I'm going to have you sit up nice and tall once again. So we're still lengthening up through the crown of the head. We're going to inhale our arms out to the side and up overhead. On an exhalation, let's twist to our right. So your right hand comes behind you on the mat by the spine. Your left hand comes outside of your right knee. I'm going to take the modification, which is the left palm to the mat in front of you. We're twisting the belly, twisting the chest, twisting even the shoulder and the head to look over that right shoulder if that's comfortable for the neck. Notice the want as you lengthen up through the crown of the head to lift the chin and keep the chin parallel to the floor. We're going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, unwind the spine back to center. Let's try that again on the other side. Inhale, arms out to the side and up, reaching up. Exhale, twist to the left now. Left hand behind you on the mat by the spine. And your right hand again can come all the way over to the outer left knee, or you can take the hand to the mat in front of you. It's going to ask a little less of the spine. Twisting the belly, the chest, the shoulders. Turn the gaze to look over the left shoulder. Watch at the tops of the shoulders are starting to move up towards the ears. See where you can soften and let go. Let's inhale. Exhale, unwind the spine and take yourself back to center. We're going to make a shift now, moving our bodies into tabletop position. So coming to hands and knees. We're going to line up our wrists directly below our shoulders. Our knees are below our hips. We're going to have the tops of the feet on the mat here. Watch the want to drop the belly down towards the floor. Think about the low ribs drawing in towards the body, and there's a little light contraction to the abdominal muscles. So here, we're going to turn our toes under. We're going to start to engage our core as we lift our knees slightly up off of the mat. Now you're going to start to really feel that in the belly. Know that through this practice, I'm going to be in the pose and out of the pose so that I can support you with your alignment as well as Tori. So always look back to Tori to model the shape. Let's take one more breath here. And with an exhalation, softly release the knees down to the mat. We're going to turn the tops of the feet to the floor and rest the hips back to the heels. Just for a moment here in child's pose. We might notice that there's some stiffness in the wrists, making small fists with the hands and maybe rotate the wrists out a little bit. And then extend the arms long on the mat. You're going to spread the fingers nice and wide, and then lift the hips up off of the heels. Turning the toes under, you're going to start to lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So our first downward dog here. So again, you're pressing down into the pads of the fingers. That's going to help release a lot of discomfort in the wrist joint. Roll the shoulders out away from the ears, and then think about the tailbone lifting up and back. We might have to bend into the knees a little bit here in order to find that. Maybe pedal the feet slightly, lowering one heel and then the other. We're working with sensation. We're working with the breath. The breath is a vehicle for prana, that life energy. I'm going to have Tori come back to stillness now with the legs and inhale the right leg up behind her. We're going to start to peel the hips open to the right. So she's going to bend into her right knee, maybe turn and look underneath that right armpit without collapsing into the left shoulder. So thinking about the knee drawing upward towards the ceiling, opening through the entire right side body. Now straightening into that right leg, squaring off the hips, and then releasing the foot back down to the mat. Let's try that on the other side. So now the left leg floats up. We bend into the left knee, and she's going to peel the hips open here. So again, the knee is drawing upward towards the ceiling. She's going to really keep this right shoulder stabilized here. Nice. Lengthening through that left side body. And now straightening into that left leg, squaring off the hips, and releasing the foot to the mat. From here, we're going to look up towards the hands and start to walk both feet forward to the top of the mat. She's going to hang forward into our Uttanasana, our forward fold. Again, I'm going to be coming in and out of the pose. I want you to release the crown of the head towards the floor. So nice. Think about the spine growing longer as you relax deeper into this shape. We're going to bend into the knees. Take the hands to the mat and step your left foot back and find a runner's lunge. Now this is a pose, it's not just a transition, so we're going to check in here. This creates the foundation for our practice. Our right knee is directly over our right ankle. Our left heel is pressing towards the back of your space as the crown of the head lengthens forward. She's going to keep that back leg so strong. As she inhale, rises up, torso and arms, fingertips towards the ceiling. Now in crescent pose, know that at any time, you can just drop this back knee to the floor. I'm going to keep the modification here. Tori's going to stay where she is. We're going to bring our arms out to a T position, palms turned down. Twisting to our right, belly, chest, shoulders. So the right fingertips are reaching back, left fingertips are reaching forward, and if you have it in you, maybe even turning the gaze to look over that right shoulder. Watch that the shoulders aren't bunching up by the ears. See where you can soften and almost imagine reaching out collarbone to index finger. We're going to inhale, and as you exhale, we make that slow transition back to center. Turn the palms to face up, lift the arms up overhead, and then exhale, release the hands down to frame the foot. The left toes are turned under, the left knee is off the floor if it's not already. And we're going to step the left foot forward and fold over the legs, Uttanasana. Again, give yourself a moment here to surrender, to release, to let go deeply. Bending into the knees, hands to the mat. Now we step the left foot back. Now we step the right foot back. So we check in on this side. The left ankle is directly below the left knee, and the right heel is pressing towards the back of the room. Once again, think about the crown of the head lengthening forward, feeling that strength in the body, that vitality as we connect deeply to breath. We're going to inhale, torso and arms up overhead. So Tori is reaching up, softening the shoulders down away from her ears, still keeping that nice deep bend into that left knee, but remembering we can take the modification of the knee down to the floor. Arms are going to come out to that T position. As we make our transition to the left, twisting belly, chest, shoulders, maybe even turning the head to look over that left shoulder. Reach out collarbone to fingertip, find length as the crown of the head rises up. Inhale, and on your exhalation, unwind and take it back to center. Let's turn the palms up, lift the arms up, and then slowly release the hands down to frame the foot. If your right knee is on the floor, lift the right knee off, come back to your runner's lunge, take a breath in, and then exhale, step the right foot forward, fold over the legs, Uttanasana. So this is your opportunity to release, to connect back to breath. As we make our transition upright, begin to round the spine, rolling it up. So you're stacking the vertebra as you go. Maybe even walking the hands up the front body if we need to here for a little extra support. Shoulders up by the ears and down the back. We're going to close the eyes here for a moment. Opportunity to feel what you have already created in your practice today. Opportunity to honor your body, your breath, all that you have to offer. And now opening the eyes. For this next pose, I'm going to take us a little bit further into it, but watch Tori for this pose. She's going to take the modification. So we're going to start with our hands on our hips. We're going to shift the weight into our left foot. So we're grounding down into the left foot and then rising up through the crown of the head. Spread the toes wide here. Use the whole of the foot for support. We're going to start to lift that right knee up off the mat, up off the floor. Tori's going to stay right here, interlacing her fingers below the right thigh. I'm going to move a little bit deeper by taking a hold of my right big toe with my index and middle finger. And we're going to extend, I'm going to extend that right leg out in front of me. So I'm sitting up nice and tall. Tori's lengthening up to the crown of her head. You're finding that shape for yourself at home. And then just as mindfully, we begin to transition out of the pose, releasing the toe, releasing the knee. Foot comes all the way to the mat. Let's stand with eyes closed. Now we get to feel what's happening in the right side body, what's happening in the left. And we open the eyes. Hands to our hips. We make a shift for the other side, so the right foot grounds down now. Remember, use the whole of the foot, so spread the toes wide, find a strong foundation. Right foot grounds down, lengthen up through the crown of the head. See that the core is strong here. Navel to spine, that is going to help support the balance within this posture. We're going to start to float that left leg up. The knee comes to hip height. We're going to keep that left foot flexed. And now Tori's going to interlace her fingers below the left knee, sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to make the transition to the big toe and start to straighten into that left leg, still sitting up nice and tall. We don't want to be collapsed and rounded over here. Sit up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, keeping a little focus, a soft focus for the eyes. And then we start to release, toe and knee down to the floor. Arms hang heavily by your sides, eyes close as you feel the balance created in the right and left side. And the eyes will softly open, coming to the top of your mat if you're not already there. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to inhale, arms out to the side and up, reaching up And then exhale, we're hinging at the hips, leading with the heart, forward and down. Release the crown of the head to the floor. Bending into your knees, we're going to come all the way down to seated. So coming all the way down to seated on your mat, extending your left leg long on the mat. You're going to bend your right knee in towards your chest and then externally rotate from that right hip joint. Sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh, right knee releasing down towards the floor. If it's having a hard time getting there, know that you can take any kind of support underneath that knee. If you have a little pillow or a blanket, you can take that for a little extra support. We're going to turn towards the extended leg and inhale our arms up overhead. Exhale, reach forward. Reach forward as far as you can as you hinge at the hips and release the hands down to frame that extended leg. Let's use the breath and find a little more length as we inhale. Exhale, begin to fold, rounding into the shoulders, the neck, even releasing the head. Start to soften here. Soften with the breath. Keep that extended leg active, foot flexed, toes pointed up. Start to walk the hands in towards the body as you round the spine and roll it up. And twists are so good for the body, wringing out the toxins in those internal organs, allowing us to really build, connect, feel that vitality within. So we're going to twist here, taking our right hand back behind us. Left hand is going to come to the outside of the right knee. This time we're just going to take the palm down. Now, just like we started, you can take your right or your left hand to the mat in front of you, but we're feeling that twist in the torso, the belly, the chest, again the shoulders, maybe even the head. Your left leg is still active as you inhale, and as you exhale, slowly unwind and take it back to center. Let's give ourselves some assistance here by taking a hold of that right knee. Draw the right knee in towards the body. Extend the right leg long on your mat. Bend into that left knee. First, draw the knee in towards the chest, and then externally rotate with that left knee releasing down towards the floor. Sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Keep this foot flexed on the right foot. Leg is nice and active. Inhale, arms up overhead, reaching up, and then exhale, reach forward. Reach forward as far as you can here. Keep reaching and then release the hands down. If you reach and you are 1 inch from vertical, be there. Love the body and stay where you are today. Keep that leg extended out. Keep breathing deeply through the back body. Just allowing yourself to be with sensation as it is. And we're going to start to walk the hands in towards the body as you round the spine and roll it up. We're going to take our twist on the other side. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take our left hand back behind us on the mat by the spine, and our right hand comes around to the outer left knee. Sit up tall here. Remember, your right hand can come just to the mat in front of you and give yourself some support. I'm going to turn and find that twist, tops of the shoulders, releasing down away from the ears. Try to keep the spine in a neutral position here. And now slowly exhale and take it back to center. We're going to take our left knee under our left hand, or right knee under our right hand, and bend the knee. Left hand to left knee, bring everything back up to center. Now, draw your knees into your chest and hug your knees in and rock a little bit from side to side here. So just start to massage and release out any tension in the low back. We're going to release the feet back to the mat now and keep the feet nice and wide. So the feet are going to be mat width apart. We're going to inhale, and on an exhalation, allow your knees to fall over to the right. Knees are going to fall over to the right. Now think about that inner left knee starting to surrender down towards the floor. If you have any pulling in that left knee at all you have to do is slide that left knee closer to the right, and you're going to get a little extra support there. Tori's going to stay where she is. The arms can just be comfortable by your side. You can turn the palms to face up. Just let the back body settle into the floor. A nice supported twist now. So your doing is done. Inhale the knees back up to center. And we're going to make the transition to the left. So she's going to release her knees over to the left. The inside of that right knee is softening down towards the floor. Maybe close the eyes here. And just feel the inhalation moving through the nostrils. The exhalation softly releasing through the nostrils. And then inhaling the knees back up to center. Bringing your knees into your chest for one final hug. And we're going to prepare the body for our final pose of Shavasana. So I'm going to guide you through this Shavasana today. So just staying with it and know that this is actually probably the most important pose that we have. This is actually the most important pose. So I'm going to have you extend the legs long on the mat. Just separating the feet to about mat width apart, relaxing into the ankle joints, letting the feet fall open. Palms turned up just outside of the body. The eyes softly close as we begin to relax deeply. Sense a cushion of vital energy surrounding and permeating the entire body. Sense that vital cushion of energy penetrating through the skin, through muscle and bone, all the way to each and every cell of the body equally. Allowing that energy to softly soak into those areas of the body that are normally tight, tense, or disconnected. Feel the soft energy of the breath moving all around and throughout. And gently bringing yourself back to the physical body. Slowly bringing movement into fingers and toes. begin to draw your knees into your chest as you give yourself a gentle hug. Taking your time, roll over to your right side and use the strength of your arms to come up to a seated position with eyes closed. Bring your hands to heart center. Feel your heart at peace, connecting you to life, your vitality, reminding you that you are unconditionally loved and accepted. Softly opening the eyes. Namaste.